that means one of two things. Either you're getting too much air, meaning it is running lean. You're getting too much air or not enough fuel. Now, I think been out and closed, sealed up my chamber, my carburetor shaft and all that good stuff. Now I think I'm not getting enough fuel. So I'm going to take the main jet out and I'm going to rejet the main jet, which is inside of this hole. Stay tuned. All right, you set your throttle to the highest spot on the lever that your throttle will lock in. Some of them won't lock in all the way to the very end. When this one goes the second one from the end. Lock it in the last notch that'll reach full throttle. All right. Set your carburetor full throttle. And what you want to see is, that's full throttle back there on the carburetor. Let's push back. All right, see the problem here? All right, what you want, there's the camera in here. What you want, see how much that's off? That rod needs to be shortened. What you want when it's at full throttle, you want that pin to slide in there easily. Right there, it won't even line up. It's a half a hole off. But what happens is, once you get to the point you can't adjust it no more to get the slack out of it, that's when you got to rebuild your governor. You'll lose some throttle right here. I mean, that's just how it is. You'll lose some throttle from play and weak springs. Most of all your tractor companies, they kind of figured that in there. I guess that's why they put this threaded rod on here. But that's what I got going on. So I replaced my throttle rod back here with a different one with a different angle. I already adjusted this before the other one. So now I got to readjust it. But anyway, I'm going to stop and just be edited video. That's why I don't do too many mechanical videos, because a lot of stopping and going. I can't hold the camera and video the whole thing at once and then edit it out. All right, I'm going to stop, get this freed up, move it back. Well, I'm starting to see real quick while I shy away from the mechanical videos. All right, you look at it at first, it was way off. I'm going to tell you a few little tricks here. So you look at it now, she's perfectly in line. Perfectly in line right there. That's what you want. That's full throttle on the lever and the carburetor full throttle. All right. Now, I know what some people are going to say. I can't get mine apart. And I'm going to step in here just a second. I'm going to show you. So I push that right in my finger. This billet and jam nut. Do not use a regular opening wrench on it. And I'm going to say this, whether it offends anybody or not. Get you a set of line wrenches for these farmalls. If you can afford the tractor, you can afford the line wrenches. It's how it is. Don't tell me you can afford the tractor but can't afford a set of Harbor Freight line wrenches for, I don't know, they're less than 20 bucks. I don't even think they're 10 bucks. Harbor Freight line wrenches. You put them line wrenches on there just like that, and you tighten them up. Now, I already know what someone else is going to say. See how all my paint's burnt off this rod? Let me show you. Another little trick of the trade. A must have with a farmall. This is Harbor Freight. This is that $60 head. Once again, they don't tell me you can afford the tractor, but can't afford a bottle torch. I cannot remember not once that I needed a settling torch on this tractor, on this 140 or that Super A. To bend anything, to straighten anything, to heat any bolts. I've done manifolds with this. I've done all the brake rods with this. Well, I said you need the line wrenches because your brake rods has got the same threaded rod. you need one of them. All right. And you need a set of line wrenches. So you take this line wrench just like so. If you use it right in, it helps. See how that line wrench fits over it so much better than just an open end wrench of 7/16. And you heat that. Don't waste your money and your time spraying WD-40 on this until after you heat it and break it loose. You're wasting your time. It ain't no kind of miracle lubricant on the market you're going to spray on this that's going to get inside of these threads, or they're letting it soak for a week in a pan or something. Take it, put this in the vise. I did my brake rods same way. Done this on the Super A2 and all the other tractors. Put in the vise and you heat this. Start with your nut, your jam nut. Heat your jam nut cherry red. Heat it all at the heat, and it'll break right loose. Take the wire brush and clean the threads off, all the dirt and the grease and grime off the threads though before you get started. Clean them threads off. So that way the nut got clean threads to travel through. See how easy that is now? That was stuck. I thought I already adjusted this one, but it was a Super A I adjusted. This one's never been moved before. I went through that with my brake rods too. Clean the threads off with a wire brush. Put it in the vise. Heat this nut. Take your a line wrench. Do not use an open end wrench. Don't put no vice grips on it. If you're going to have this tractor, you're going to work on it, go get you a set of line wrenches. All right? You take that set of line wrenches and you tighten it right up. Them line wrenches. That line wrench fits it all but one little piece of it, one little side. You putting 1, 2, 3, you putting 4 sides, you putting double the amount on it than would you would an open end wrench. That makes any sense. Get you a set of line wrenches. So if you can afford the tractor, you can afford tools from Harbor Freight. You look around my tools, Harbor Freight, Harbor Freight. I laugh at the fools that go Snap-on and Mac and everywhere else. That's what I call it, putting on a show. Let me get my camera up here. I say them guys putting on a show. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You don't need all that expensive. That stuff just a name. Harbor Freight, unless you lose it, you don't lose. Unless you actually physically lose the tool. So I snug that fits. Then put your car key in there. Full throttle on your lever back there. Put the throttle in. Put this throttle in. Sit on the carburetor to full, and then you adjust this to where your pin goes in, with a slide in easily and the holes perfectly aligned. And that's all you do to your governor. When you got to rebuild your governor most time for bushings, when people talking about the bushings wear out, this is what this threaded piece will do. It'll take up the slack, whatever slack you got. So when you run out of adjustment, well, you got to put new bushings and springs, thrush burns and all that usually in your governor over there. That's not that bad of a job. I've done one before. It's kind of expensive though, especially if you need the whole weight assembly. It's really expensive, but we ain't talking about that. That's it. That's your little plug where your adjustment, T-handle adjustment go. I showed you in a different video. That's where that would go. Your main jet's in there. But that's how you adjust your governor. Lay your alternator generator out of the way. Like I said, full throttle on the lever, lock this back, and then you just screw in this. Don't let this scare you, but don't attack it with an open end wrench or some vice grips, or try to spray some kind of miracle lubricant on it that Grandpa Joe said it worked miracles on his stuff. Go ahead, put in a vise, get you a little cheap bottle torch. And I had that on one of my important farmall tool videos that you need to have work on a farmall, and that's a bottle torch. You don't need a set of acetylene torches. It's nice to have them, but you ain't got to have that to heat little stuff up like this. Sometimes you had to heat these pins to get them out. Sometimes these pins will not come out. They'd be frozen in there. You had to heat them. My brake rods was like that. But get your bottle torch and attack these with a line wrench. Not you round them off. Heat them, clean the threads up, heat them, break the nut loose, and then stick you some in here and heat this next. Then after you get it heated and get everything moving, Then you can attack it with WD-40 or PB Blaster or whatever that your choice of lubricant spray might be. Then you can attack it with your spray after you done broke it loose with the heat. Don't waste your time. Don't put the spray on there first, then you're gonna make it flammable. Attack it with the heat first. And then after you get everything moving with the heat, then you can attack it with your favorite lubricant, whether it be just brake fluid or more burnt motor oil. Then you attack it with that. But don't waste your time and money spraying stuff on that till you get it broke loose that heat first, and you won't have no problems with none of that stuff. But anyway, that's all you do to adjust the governor on that. Set everything in full throttle and then turn this and stick the pin and slide the pin in. And that's all you do with the governor. If you're I'll explain two more things while I'm on the subject. This is the stopper for your high RPMs. I keep mine on the Super A and this one backed all the way out. I cannot remember what it was on the Super A. I put a old style tack on my coil. I say it was around 18 or 16 or 18 ran in there with that screwed all the way out. Now this other adjustment plunger is put tension on you. I ain't even talking about it because I'm not 100% on that. I think that puts tension. I'm not even gonna talk about it because I don't know really what I'm talking about. I don't remember. It's been a while since I had one of these off and apart. But the one on my 2444 when I brought the tractor was exploded on the inside because one of the weights came loose and tore up everything in there. But I can tell you that right there adjusts your high RPMs. I just turn mine all the way out and lock it down. I rarely ever run this tractor full throttle because this is my gardening tractor. So I'm always planning doing something very low speed or cultivating at low speed. I'm not as good as JT West, some of the other ones, full throttle and second gear. I used to tear down everything when I do that. But anyway, so I don't know, rarely, even if I run a bush hog on it, I gap it and come back to a notch or two. But that gives you a little bit more engine RPMs. You back that out. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is the video on that, and I'm gonna do one more little piece to it. This carburetor jet, you take it out with a nub screwdriver, stick it in here. All right, with that surging, sometimes this is how I like my carburetors. That's a lean condition. Me and my exhaust is running too hot. If it's burning the paint off of it, it's probably too hot. If your carburetor ain't sweating while you're working it, or cool to the touch, or almost cold, it's probably too lean. Lean conditions make your exhaust run hot. I like them when I smack the throttle from idle to full, it a little puff of black smoke out of them. Now you can buy in the lean conditions will make a surge on full throttle because it's not getting enough fuel. All right, this is a torch tip cleaner that I've dissected the setup. That's why I don't do a lot of mechanical videos. Take that there and just run it through there a couple times like that. Just make sure it's good and open. But the size is almost the same size that you kind of got to wiggle it to get it on there. And stroke them through that just like that a few times. And then that's it. Put him back in there with your nub screwdriver. Blow all that little crud off of it. And the number on the end of it is the size of it. Now, for the Zenith, that's one downfall to a Zenith and a Carter. I know a Zenith, you can make them adjustable, and what they'll look like, it'll look like this here. I tried to put this one in there, but this one's not the same. This is a Zenith. This is the bigger throat Zenith. It'll bolt on now, but I already rebuilt that one in this one. This one came off my C153 engine, but that's the adjuster you put on. Looks like that. You put that adjuster in place of the plug. But you can buy them off of eBay. I know sells them. But these are non-adjustable jets. I mean, you screw them in there You screw them in here, just like that. You put them in there. I can use a regular screwdriver now. Take that torch tip cleaner, run through it, and open it up a little bit. Don't go too big, because you can take the metal away, but you can't put it back. That makes any sense. And you just screw it back up in there. Run that torch tip cleaner through it a few times, and put it back in there. Just snug him up. You ain't got to touch. Don't get crazy with the screwdriver because it's brass. But so I'm gonna tell this nub story. While it's fresh on my mind, I don't forget about it. I laugh and joke and humor all the time at work, at the house too. So I kind of the work clown, I guess you'd say. I laugh and joke all the time. But anyway, that's to take care of the main jet and the carburetor. You can make them adjustable on your Zeniths, but you got to buy the piece. You got to buy it's a jet and the T-piece, and it goes in place of the plug. That's going to conclude that, and we're going to get on to something else. All right, we got the governor adjusted. I don't know how it's going to act this low on the idle, but I like them to idle low, so when I stop to talk to somebody, they can hear me. This has got a little bit of slop before it starts moving the throttle. But that's that there. Got a little hooky buggy. I can live with that. I said very seldom I ever just smack the throttle on it anyway. Most of the time when I'm running it, it's about that throttle right there. It ran a little while now, but at that low of a throttle, it'll still start from a dead idle. But this is all the way down on the rod. I said I scrubbed that main jet out just a smidge. That's why I wish the main jet had an adjustment on it where I can fine tune that main jet on a high RPM. That's gonna be my next purchase. I'm gonna get me a main jet, adjustable main jet for this. But other than that, what happened, I think we got the engine right. And I got my lift. And my pump cycled off. The pump won't cycling off. I readjusted it. I leave that. I say I like a low idle, so that way when I stop to talk to somebody, I can hear them while I'm talking. I think that's all we're gonna do for tonight. That's the end results of it. And I'm gonna tighten the steering, tighten up. I'm starting to learn how to do a little bit of video editing, stopping and going and editing and taking stuff out. So I might try to do a little more mechanical videos. I know a whole lot of little tricks and stuff on it. It's easy for me to tell you, but it's not easy. It won't easy before for me to show you physically. I said that's not perfect. It's not, but I can live with that. I can live with that. It's got a little bit of hup when you first give it throttle. I can live with that. That's not a problem. But I got the island bay where I want. Show you how to adjust that governor rod. How to clean that, resize that main jet just a little bit. Don't go too big because you can take the metal out, but you cannot put the metal back. And you'll have to replace that jet. But that's pretty much, and I went over before, you got a float that won't quit leaking, it's probably the float's rubbing the housing in here. Went through that before. But anyway, we're gonna conclude this video. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get this thing out of here. We'll do a little more tinkering on it, then we're gonna get it out of here and get the fast hitch bush hog hooked up and do maybe a little demonstration on that. Anyway, thanks for watching.